Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining Discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 141 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days out of the year this year, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within that time frame. I first challenged myself to run 1,250 miles, but I was so far ahead in miles that I actually changed it to 1,500 now. So that is the new goal for the year. Now, this is only my second year ever running. So within the first full year of running, I was able to run 1,002 miles. And I did that in 175 days in 2020. So this is a 50% step up in the amount of miles I'm going for this year and a 100% step up in the amount of days I'm attempting to run out of the year this year as compared to last year in 2020. So far, so good. Like I said, today was day 141. It was very hot out there today. It was about 88 degrees. The last 3 days, it was right around there. It was all about 90 degrees, 88 degrees, and just really, really a scorcher out there. Thankfully, the last 2 days weren't too humid. Today was a little bit more humid, but still wasn't too bad. Got all good paces out there. Did 3.5 every single day. So, like I said, 3.5 for the day today, 141, and that put me at 18.8 miles for the week so far here. This is day 5 of this week. I try to average a bare minimum of 25 miles per week. Usually hit around 33. But this week and next week, I'm supposed to be really trying to taper down my miles on these weeks because I do have a race coming up on June 5th. It is a 50K trail race in Yankee Springs, Michigan. So I'm really trying to get my taper down on the amount of miles I'm running per week. But it's actually kind of hard. I get out there and I've just been busting it and just keep going and going and going. But hey, hopefully maybe I'll get 28 this week. We'll see, because I still want to try to pump out. I have every month so far done a half marathon, so I want to try to get a half marathon done this month, and we're getting later and later and later into the month, and I really got to start tapering my miles, so I got to do it like tomorrow or the next day. So that's what I'm going to try to do, but still going to try to keep it under 30 miles, which looks like it's not going to happen if I do a half marathon. So we'll see. We'll see. We're at 18.8 miles though for the week. And now for the month, we're at 99.3 miles. Every single month, I've done a 100-mile challenge, and I do it in honor of a fundraiser that we raise money for a different charity that's kind of relative to the month. January, February, March, and April, we raised money for 4 great charities. And now we're sitting here in the month of May, and we're raising money for the charity and nonprofit To Write Love on Her Arms. And what they focus on is mental health, suicidal thoughts, addiction, substance abuse, and they're kind of like a hotline that you can call, and you'll see a lot of their tents and stuff at concerts of a lot of bands you'll probably listen to. That's where I first discovered them at. It was like a lot of Warped Tours and things like that. So we're raising money for that nonprofit this month, because this month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I do want to talk about that. But before we talk about that, let's continue to talk about To Write Love on Her Arms in this fundraiser, the May 100-mile challenge fundraiser. So we are sitting at 99.3 miles for the month of May. We are probably going to get this done tomorrow, obviously. So that's really cool that we're going to surpass the 100-mile challenge. I made my donation to this fundraiser already. Donations are still open. If you guys would like to make a donation to this fundraiser for the month of May, you can find the link to donate on the Defining Discipline Instagram or Facebook story, as well as my personal pages, Instagram or Facebook story. Within the story, you'll see it across the banner. It'll, say what the fundraiser's for, and then at the very top, it'll say donate on Facebook. You click that, and it'll open the link on Facebook where you are going to be able to pick and figure out whatever kind of donation you would like to make and how much you would like to make to that cause. So other than that, let's just kind of talk about mental health awareness real quick, guys. If you are going through any kind of mental health issue, substance abuse, or anything like that, do not be afraid to reach out. A lot of people will be going, I think everyone goes through some sort of mental health issue throughout their life, some kind of crisis that's going to throw them into a depression or some sort of thing around that kind of, just around there. So don't be afraid to reach out if you're going through something. And if you know someone that is going through something, don't be afraid to try to reach out. You may feel overbearing reaching out to them, but don't feel overbearing. They'll let you know if you're feeling overbearing, but sometimes just reaching out really helps out a lot. If you are being overbearing, maybe they'll tell you, then don't try to be overbearing. Don't try to maybe oversuggest stuff, but just let them know that you are there and are open to listen or be there for them whenever you need them, or whenever they need you, is what I meant to say. So mental health awareness is something really serious. We all kind of go through it, and we all know someone that will go through it. So don't be afraid to reach out. There are hotlines just like the one we are raising money for this month, that is To Write Love on Her Arms. There are other hotlines that you can reach out to and talk to if you need someone to talk to. You can also go the medication route, go talk to a doctor. He can prescribe you some kind of medication that can help you try to balance the chemical imbalance that's going on in your brain, or whatever is going on. It can help. So don't think that because it's medicine, it's a bad thing. Yes, I myself do not prefer taking medicine, but I have taken medicine before. I'm off of it currently, thankfully, and I've been using exercise as my outlet, which I wanted to also talk about, because that's what this podcast is really about, is exercise. It has helped tremendously with my mental health, so I would like to really push that first and foremost. But I get, if you can't and don't feel like exercise is your answer, don't be afraid to possibly try medication. Don't be afraid to reach out to a stranger. Don't be afraid to reach out to a family member or a friend. Other than that, guys, let's just kind of continue and get into today's episode. I don't want to keep going on. I don't want to keep this going on too long. Sorry, guys. I'm actually super, super tired. Work this morning. Came home, got some yard work done, got the garden put in. Just been super busy and am absolutely drained. Went out for the run. It's like 88 degrees out. It just took everything out of me. Got my smoothie in, got my shower in. It's now 8 o'clock, and I feel like it's 11 o'clock. I feel like I'm fighting it. So I apologize for that. So let's continue, though. For mileage, we are sitting at 614.6 miles for the year, guys. So before, the goal was 1250. Now the goal is 1500. So now we are 885.3 miles out from the yearly goal. So again, let's go over mileage real quick again. For the day, 3.5. For the week, 18.8. For the month, 99.3. For the year, 614.6. Now let's get into today's episode. Episode 141. It's something I want to talk about because it's something that we all do, and it's something since I've been trying to really step back myself, which I still do. Don't get me wrong. It's hard. It's almost impossible not to do this, what we're going to talk about. But since I've been trying to really step back on it, I've noticed so many more people doing this. So let's talk about it. Episode 141. The theme for today is going to be criticism. Criticism. We are all critics. We like to criticize everything. And I'll catch myself doing it all the time, criticizing everything for whatever the case is. And it isn't until I really catch myself and really stop and think about it, like, what am I doing? Um, I don't know this backstory. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they do what they do. So, and it's so easy actually to criticize, because I think what we do when we criticize is we try to block out our own flaws, our own insecurities that we have within ourselves, and the things that we want to change within ourselves. So we look and search for some kind of criticism within whatever it is that will really um, satisfy and back up our ideas that we're correct and that we're better than they are because of the way we think or the way we feel. So, criticism is something we all do so much of, and it's such a dangerous thing, especially when you get caught up thinking that you are right and you are just feeding your ideals more without actually looking at the other side or actually thinking about why you're criticizing and who you're criticizing and the reason behind it, like the real reason behind it. Uh, I don't want to get into any kind of detailed story of like personal criticism, or that I've personally experienced, or ones that people I have criticized, or things I have criticized. I just know that when I stopped actually trying to criticize other people for whatever they're doing in a certain situation, or just criticizing them in general, or criticizing anything in general, step back and ask myself, well, why am I criticizing? Why am I thinking this? Why am I thinking that this is a bad thing? When you actually really think and try to reflect the question, or reflect the criticism back to yourself, like, well, why do I even care? Almost like, why am I even letting it bother me? If this is really not actually affecting me, why am I criticizing this person in my head so much? Or why am I worrying about this so much? Why am I letting this anger me so much? Why am I letting this get on my nerves so much? Why am I letting this bad negative thought consume and find a home within the back of my mind? Like, I'm trying to get rid of these thoughts of criticism. I'm trying to get rid of just any kind of negative energy, negative thoughts. And when you criticize other people, it's just a negative thought that you don't really even need. Like, yes, I get that sometimes criticism is needed in certain situations, but the daily criticism that we give each other on a daily basis, and the daily criticism that we go out and just use on a daily basis, is a dangerous thing, especially when we're validating ourselves to be right and just really trying to ignore our own flaws. So really think about that. Think about how you've criticized people within your life, or criticized figures, or whatever the case may be, without even knowing them, or truly knowing anything about the situation. Like, you think you may know the situation. Like, I guess the best example is any kind of president, anybody, like, or any news story. It doesn't even matter. It's like, you get half the story no matter what. No matter how much you think your news outlet gives you the full story, you're still only getting half the story, and it's told by someone told them to put it this way. It's gonna be leaning one way, and it's not gonna be the full story. And just to criticize either that side for pushing that story that way, or criticizing the other side without hearing their side of the story, is a dangerous game. So I think you need to really step back and, if in that certain situation, is listen to both sides of the story and try to really figure out the heart of the problem. And escalating things is never the answer. Escalating escalating the criticism is never going to be the answer. So I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling, but really, I just really wanted to talk about criticism because we're always judging other people, and it's always like, they're doing this wrong, or they're doing this wrong, they're doing this wrong. And yeah, deep down inside, we know the stuff we are doing wrong, but we never truly criticize ourselves the way we try to criticize other people. We never hold ourselves accountable the way we try to hold other people accountable to our criticism of them. So that's the main thing about criticism. Criticism isn't always bad, and if you're going to hold someone else accountable to your criticism, you must hold yourself accountable to that same criticism and to find those same exact faults in yourself. So before we go out there and start criticizing and making this world a worse place, really, really think about what you are doing and stop critiquing everything in everyone else's life, and maybe start really trying to critique your own life and lead by example. So maybe those other people whose lives you would like to critique, they can actually see that you have perfected, or not necessarily perfected, because no one will ever get perfection, but you have mastered some kind of skill set enough where they see it and they want to change and live a life like you, and they follow your example. So I think we start really doing stuff on an individual level, and we will change the world tremendously. So if we're going to use criticism, let's use it within ourselves. So if you're going to criticize someone and hold them accountable to that criticism, make sure you hold yourself the same amount accountable to that same exact criticism. That's pretty much all I want to talk about. So for that reason, let's talk about your daily discipline, and it is about criticism. It is to think about all the things that you criticize in your life. Really think about it. What are you being unfair on? What are you really criticizing in your life that you are not holding accountable in your own life? What are you holding to the standard that you yourself aren't obeying? And really think about that. And really think about the relationships and the criticism that you hold within these relationships in your life, and how if you just maybe let go of that criticism or whatever it is you're holding on for whatever reason, if you let go of it, find a way to let go of it, find a reason to let go of it, find the reason why it's even there. That's what I said to begin with. Think about why you're even thinking this way. Why do you care? So really think about the criticisms in your life and the criticisms you have that you're not holding yourself accountable to, and the criticisms that you can change. Think about those. That is your daily discipline, and really start holding yourself accountable. Start criticizing yourself to those same criticisms that you hold other people to. That is your daily discipline. Thank you so much for listening. This is episode 141 of the Defining Discipline podcast. So stoked, 141 days in a row, running 141 days in a row, posting episodes about it. Been really getting on the move here, guys. I got the balls rolling on really some things have been happening, especially this past couple weeks. That doesn't even have to do with this, but just in general. So there's going to be some big changes here in my life, and really looking forward to it. It's scary, but really looking forward to it. Excited for a good new future, a good better future, and excited to work hard and to continue to pump these episodes out, and just every day keep grinding, guys. So thank you so much for listening and following along. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 142. That will be May 22nd. Other than that, guys, just stay disciplined. Get your daily discipline done today. Stop the criticism. And if you are going to criticize anyone, criticize yourself. Hold yourself accountable to the same criticism that you hold others to. That's it. Thanks so much for listening. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 142. I'm your host, Scott. This is the Defining Discipline podcast. Peace.